Hello, and welcome to what I think is the final recap episode to Xenoblade Chronicles X, where I recap you on some of the events that happened off-screen in side missions. The first one I bring to you with a heavy heart. The owner of Army Pizza, overworked by the demands of the Manon. This was a bad idea for this episode. Overworked from all the Manon. Found out that his wife had killed herself from being overworked. No joke, they wrote this into the game. And he then got mad. He then became a space racist and a murderer and killed several Manon and people. And we had to take him out, and now one of his subordinates runs the store and now owns Army Pizza. That was a plotline that they wrote into this game. The longer you play this game, the more bizarre and very dark some of the plot lines become. Another thing, I guess, moving down the checklist, in one of the other recap episodes I mentioned that those robots we installed were totally gonna go berserk, and they didn't go naturally berserk, but they were hacked and went berserk. So called it done, and that will come into play a little bit later, actually voiced. So weird attention to side missions there, and then contributing voice acting to it. What's another thing? Sorry, these are sort of very stream of consciousness. Oh, okay, we only have one more thing to really cover. Way back in, I think the first recap I did, I mentioned this really huge black skull that ended up being a regular type unit. And I said maybe they'd be back. Well, I got to the point where they came back, and before I blinked and I missed it, and my teammates kicked its ass. Its health went down so quick. Check this out. Yeah, see? But otherwise, the game's winding up. A lot of characters' affinity missions are ending. When they end with a certain gravity, and the characters... There's not as many affinity missions for each character as I expected. So I didn't actually plan or commentate on a couple that I've recorded already at the time of this recording. I didn't say oh, this is it, their story's complete, because I didn't know that their story was complete. One of the things that I hope it doesn't come off too bad in this LP already, is one of the things in this video game is you gain character development with the characters by having them in your party. By listening to what they say when they attack, what they say when they get hurt, what they say to other characters that they are friends with, and what that means, that they're friends with, if this brash character is friends with this kind character, and what that dynamic means. And that's very difficult to get into an LP that I've made to try and make this game digestible, and not a 150 part LP with a bunch of grinding and something I do not have the time or energy to commentate over. So I hope it doesn't... It may seem like there's not a lot for a lot of these characters, but when you have them in your party and you develop this... it's not friendship, they're characters, but you learn about them in a very natural way that cannot be learned about or experienced with all the cutting I've done. It's an over 100-hour game, and it's got like 20 characters. The best way to experience their story isn't by watching this LP, and this LP is in no way a replacement for the game. But it's to play it. It's to play it and be with them. But that's it, really. There's no other side quest I really want to get into. I guess one comment I can make is I said pretty early on in one of the recaps that I introduced the character Mia that we were going to be following around, and she would become a voice character with her own voice missions. To unlock all those for her would take a ridiculous amount of post-game grinding from me that I literally don't have time for. So being that you didn't get to experience all the missions leading up to her becoming voiced, I guess that's not that big of a deal. But I'm just gonna I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna Google video them myself, so whoopsies. But I don't know if I'm gonna do a bunch of talking during the credits, but just in case I don't, I really hope you enjoy the rest of the LP. At the time of recording, I'm almost set to just gun for it and just affinity mission, affinity mission, affinity mission, affinity mission, story mission, boom, done. So at this point in time, I'm feeling it wrapping up. I don't know what episode this recap is gonna be, but wherever you are in the story, I hope you're ready for things to start wrapping up, and I hope the game made a good impression on you. I hope you're interested if they ever decide to make a sequel. I hope maybe you check out the rest of the franchise, because if you found any of these characters or situations or the world, if you found any of this compelling, then Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 are more story focused and less world exploration focused, but they're this series, I hope I got somebody into it. So with that said, with a look at our big bird friend here, thank you for watching, and enjoy the end.